the Care Service Center is our #1 differentiator in this industry. So let me share what the Care Service Center actually does. First function that the Care Service Center does is scheduling. So scheduling really has two pieces. It's matching the right caregiver with our client. So when we talk about matching, we talk about taking the client's needs and wishes. So if a client requires a specific skill, if they require a specific language, if they require a specific interest or passion, we will try and match the caregiver that fits those requirements with that client. It also means fitting based on schedules. And so caregiver schedules and client schedules are all over the place. So our care service specialist's first job is to really match the caregiver with the client. The second part is really managing that schedule. So we know that our clients who usually hire us on an ongoing basis, they will require a lot of changes to their schedules, and so they will be calling our care service specialists. That's their job to manage it. We also know that our caregivers will call in sick. And in fact, many of our caregivers will call in sick at 5 in the morning for a 7 a.m. shift, and that's one of the key functions and key roles of a care service specialist, is to really take those calls and manage that schedule on an ongoing basis. Now, once a care service specialist has matched the right caregiver with the client, a key part of their role is to ensure that they're showing up at the client's home and they're showing up at the client's home on time. And so we have a system that we designed here at Nurse Next Door where if our caregiver hasn't shown up at your client's home within 6 minutes of the start of their shift, a big alert goes off in the office. And at that 6-minute mark, a care service specialist will pick up the phone, they'll call your caregiver, and they'll say, "Hey Susie, I noticed you're late for your client, what's happening?" And Susie will say something like, "Well, I'm stuck in traffic, I'll be to my client Mrs. Jones' house in 10 minutes. So then our care service specialist will get off the phone, they'll call our client Mrs. Jones and say, "Mrs. Jones, I'm really sorry, Susie is late, she'll be there in 10 minutes. Is there anything I can do for you?" And this is a really key component of our scheduling process because, well, it really does two things. First, we know that one of the top 2 complaints in this industry are caregivers showing up late. And we know this, we tracked this data 6 years ago before we built the system. And it was one of our top two complaints in the system. Since we implemented this system, I really haven't seen this complaint since. So we turn this reactive system into a proactive system. So we really deliver an incredible customer experience. The second thing it does is we know if our caregivers are showing up or not. And it makes billing and payroll a really simple process. So that's the second thing that our Care Service Center does. The third really important function of the Care Service Center is building those relationships with our clients and our caregivers. So this scheduling piece, I mean, you can look at it as a transaction. It's filling a shift, it's filling in a sick call. But when our care service specialists do this, they're actually building a relationship with our clients. And that's a really important part because our clients, they're an ongoing revenue stream for us. And the better service we can deliver to them, the longer they are going to keep our service. And I've always said from a brand perspective, the phone is like a brand weapon in this business. The majority of customer service actually happens over the phone. So our care service specialists, they spend a lot of time building those relationships. They get to know our clients, they get to know our caregivers. They really become, for you, the franchise partner, your eyes on the street. And they glean such important information that we can then use to deliver a really phenomenal customer experience. So it might be something little like on their birthday, singing happy birthday to them. Or it may be just taking a call on a daily basis from a client who needs to talk. You can think of one client we have, they have Alzheimer's. For 3 years in a row at 3 o'clock every afternoon, they call our care service center to talk. And they talk for 10 minutes and they close off the call by saying, "Is it okay if I have a nap now?" So it's that relationship piece that becomes really essential in the role of a care service specialist. And the final function I think is really key is what we call the intake. So the intake is when a new client calls to inquire about our service. So this is a new service that we've started to offer our franchise partners, and we know when our franchise partners do intakes, Some are really good at it, and some aren't so good at it. And even the ones who are really good at it, what we found over the years was it was really hard to do an intake because our franchise partners could they could be marketing, they could be hiring, and all of a sudden a call comes in and they have to take the next 20 minutes. They have to stop what they're doing and they have to take that call. So we realized that we could actually provide this intake function for our franchise partners. So we now do this in-house. We take the calls. We have a specialized, dedicated sales team to take those calls from our customers. And I think it's a really important next step in how we deliver the services to our clients because it does a few things. Number one, it allows those franchise partners who aren't very good at doing intakes, it allows them to become very good at doing intakes because we can actually have really high conversion rates now for all of our partners across the system. Two, it allows our startup franchise partners to have success right out of the gate with doing intakes. So what we've realized over the last number of years, it takes 6 months to a year for a new franchise partner to really learn how to do an intake. And so now, right away, from day one, we can have franchise partners really converting intakes at the average level of the system.